What's up, my comic book brothers and my comic book sisters from another mister? Today we're going to do a comic book review of Spawn issue number 311, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. By the way, RIP Chadwick. Previously, Spawn is on the hunt for someone or something insidious. Demons hiding amongst humans. Secret dealings with Big Pharma, dark plans are about to be exposed, there is a storm coming, and Spawn is at its center. So in Bursa, northwest Turkey, a regional unrest has been gripped this nation as a growing strain of disease is seemingly being underplayed by the local government, even as the total reported cases continues to grow. Reporters are at unrest, people at unrest, and this reporter goes up to this Mayor Utambi and tells him, like, hey man, I gotta ask you a few questions. Even though the guards try to stop him and shield him, he's like, man, I'm just doing my job, get your hands off of me. And he tells Mayor Utambi, we obtained bank records that show you profited in the past decade from these companies, along with nearly a dozen of your extended family. Do you have a comment? And this mayor is like, okay, well, look, I cherish privacy and nothing else is more valuable than one's solitude. We're doing everything we can, just a typical political answer within our powers to mitigate all this. Tell your paper and tell everyone I wish for their continued health. And the reporter's like, oh yeah, what about all the thousands of dead people, all the unrest? He just rolls up his window. It's like, we got to dip out, we got to go. So Mayor Utambi does this guy, this confidant, or whoever he is in the car, tells him, you said this wasn't gonna go public. It wasn't supposed to. Well, someone leaked it and we're gonna have to look into it now. Says the mayor. A little too late for that. Gavin, the reporter that asked all the questions, was like, man, they're running away like cowards. And his camera guy is like, they can't deflect forever. But calling out their bluff on the bank accounts, that was a hell of a bluff, man. I know, but they can't deflect forever, so we gotta piece those bank records together. So it wasn't even all true. Reporters can do that sometimes, just try to gaslight you or try to set you up for a trap or something. So they drive back to their hotel. Gavin goes upstairs or goes to his room to take a shower. As he closes his door behind him to take that shower, he gets decked in his head and shot in his head, and that's the end of his life. So meanwhile, hundreds of miles away, as night falls, the creatures who thrive in darkness emerge. It's their time to play, to morph, to transform and bond together into a power in which the whole is much, much stronger than its parts. I believe this guy's name is Rebirth. He was introduced later in Spawn issue 323. I'll put the card up top and link in description if you guys want to check that out. But we're in Spawn issue 311, so if you just checked out this channel for the first time, hey, I'll put the playlist at the end of the video and you can take your pick, because I'm trying to cover all Spawn content from 296 all the way up to its current issues. Not to mention we cover Gunslinger, Scorched, and King Spawn issues as well. So his butler knocks on the door. Rebirth goes up. He's just tidying up. He's informed that the guests are waiting for him downstairs. And what this party is all about, even though he's a charming fellow, working the ladies and working the room, it's all about the good fortune and that his company has something to share with the people there. They all been informed that his Big Pharma division is on the verge of some breakthrough research. That's why they're asked to be there. Everyone's made their donations. Some people have made more donations or exceeded the donation or the minimum donation or whatnot. 3,600 miles to the southwest in Calcutta, India, there are some creatures of all sorts out tonight. This one in particular has been hunting, not an enemy like most days, but someone who shouldn't even be walking, let alone live. Now the thing is, what if what Spawn suspects is true? Then the rip in time he caused that somehow vaulted all undetermined number of other Hellspawns forward to the present day may also be the reason why Spawn is missing a few of his undead warriors. That makes sense. And that's referencing issue 301, which you can check out the link in the description. We did do a review on that one. We did cover that issue. The thing is, their loyalty should have been embedded into them when he awoke them from their deaths. Yet somehow they are hearing the call of another master. Spawn isn't willing to tolerate that. And after his recent battle with the medieval Spawn, he has no idea if he can trust his own instincts anymore. For a soldier like Al Simmons, doubting his own abilities is something your enemies seek out so they can eliminate. So instead of waiting for them to show, he'll hunt them down instead. Later, Jim Downey shows up. Hello, Al. Sit down, Jim, says Al. Well, I guess it's nice to finally meet you, so where are they, says Al. Huh, and you're just gonna come in here and waltz and make demands, says Jim Downing? That's not smart. You wouldn't want to do that. Not when we both could be of use to each other. I mean, you don't want me as your enemy. So Spawn's like, I want them back. Your team? That's not how it's gonna work, dude. Jim continues with this dialogue. We all want the same thing. Screw heaven and hell. I'm with you on that. But this new war that you've started, you don't get to run the show. You're not alone anymore. You understand that, right? There's more of us now. Huh, says Al. And the mighty Jim Downing now has all the answers. Not all of them, says Jim. But here's what I do know. You swatted a hornet's nest a couple times. First, you trapped them here on Earth by shutting down the dead zones, and now they're pissed off. Instead of heaven and hell being at each other's throats, they're banding together because if they can't get back home, then they'll burn Earth to the ground instead. And Al's like, yo, man, I know what I'm doing. Yeah? Then why are you here? Why aren't you chasing down the bad guys? Because they're trying to find out who the bad guys are, says Al. Like you said, everyone's picking a side. As much as I like to accept that, one like you should know at what side you're on. I still have to ask, says Al. I don't know exactly when you came out of your coma, but if your powers are anywhere close to mine, you know that you're a target. And we see this flashback of these demons or angels or demons angels running rampant, taking out a hell Spawn. And Spawn tells him the reason why I want them back is to protect you. Look at what they did in Turkey last week. If they tore through a half a dozen villages looking for something, I had a Spawn reading on my computer over there. Now it's gone, which means you're not ready for them to find you. At least not yet. So Jim and Al take a walk, and Al tells him moving around is probably the only thing that saved you so far. And Jim Downey's like, yo, man, you tested my ego, man. I had a couple runners with them already, and I did okay. And Spawn's like, are you listening? Those are scouts. You get that? Not warriors or hunters. They're nothing on a scale of 100. They're 2. So if it took you more than 5 seconds to obliterate them, you're more fucked than I thought. How long did it take you? It doesn't matter, says Jim Downey, because he knows it took him about 5 seconds, if not longer than that. Of course it matters, says Al. Everything matters. And Jim Downey, he doesn't like his ego being tested like that. You better cool off. I'm losing my patience. Good. That makes it 2 of us. And as they get ready to go down or throw down with the get down, well, the quick heartbeat passes and they contemplate attacking each other before wisely deciding to back down. Jim Downing decides to back down wisely. And Al's like, look, man, I just want to see them. So they transport each other out of there, and moments later they reform into a shadows of some hidden dungeon. Downing leads, Spawn follows. And where Spawn is followed to by Jim Downing is this chamber where Overkill and Sargor are in a tank. In other words, Jim Downey tells him, look, you gave them life by giving air in their lungs, but you made their bodies move. But what about their brains? It's rotted, so I'm resuscitating them or regenerating them. And he's saying, as best as I can, I infused them. Jim Downing infused them with his own blood, but it'll be a long process, probably 6 to 8 months. And Spawn's like, okay, where's the freak? Out running some missions. He's the furthest developed of the 3. So does this meet your approval, Spawn? Am I worthy of jumping on board with you? And Spawn just looks like, no, man, you idiot. And he clobbers him. Get back. You used your own blood? Malbosia and Clown poisoned it when you were in your coma. You've got tracers inside of you. Now you've passed them on. I need them to be clean. You've made them into hybrids. And Jim Downing's like, I was saving them. Downing unleashes his own pent-up anger. But the energy Downing displays catches Spawn by surprise. He needs to assert his dominance because, Alpha gotta do what Alpha gotta do. And as much as he doesn't want to waste unnecessary power given his weakened state, Spawn knows he needs to be the alpha dog. Oh, right now. And he walks up to him and stops those beams right away. I made you hoping you'd be someone special, someone the world could count on. If you're not going to do that, if you're not going to fight for that, then I'll take you out right now, says Spawn. You need to get way stronger or you'll be useless to me. And this is referencing back in Spawn issue 185, which I obviously haven't covered. And, I just jumped into Spawn at issues 317 and up. And now I'm going back from 296 moving forward. And, dude, this is awesome. That's all I got to say. Now get them out of that machinery, says Spawn. Go to hell, I don't answer to you. Fine, says Spawn. So he punches that machinery, punches the glass himself, and after a few blows, it crashes and breaks open. Overkill is on the floor. He gets up, master. Jim Downey's like, yo, man, he can't survive out of his chamber. I have to put his tubes back in. Overkill, get your tubes. That's his command. Don't worry, says Al. He'll survive. This one was built to endure anything. Overkill stands up, ready to do his thing. I'm more concerned about Cygor and Freak. They're coming like you told us, Master. The bad ones are coming. They are, but we'll be ready, says Spawn. And we go into this other panel in North Dakota. There were some good folks in this good part in the good decade that always had a smile on their face and a kind word to say. But we see these dead folks, husband and wife, we can assume, and this cock. Man, put some flour, some chicken, some barbecue sauce. I'm ready to eat that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Chicken. I'm not going to say the other C word. Hot sauce sounds good too. Anyways, back to the content. They never caused any trouble with the couple that's on the bench. At least none of the locals knew about it. And I said the bench are actually on a rocking chair and bugs are flying around, but he didn't have a choice. He had to kill them. And it was easy for him to do even when the elder lady screamed for mercy. See, they actually weren't human. They've been pretending all those years as they were biding their time, preparing, waiting for their great war to begin. And we see Gunslinger Spawn. And unfortunately for them, Gunslinger Spawn has been making preparations of his own. They just happen to get in his way. And that's where we end this issue of Spawn, issue number 311, The Cult of Omega. To me, I think this is an engaging read that will keep you on the readers on the edge of your seat. It definitely kept me on the edge of my seat, and I was obviously intrigued by it. I love Spawn. I love the Spawn issues. I'm excited to see where the events of this issue takes our heroes or anti-heroes next. So what do you think is behind all the disappearances? Comment below, let me know. But yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to the story arc right here, and let's get to it. All right, with that being said, Spawn, issue number 311. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection, link in description. Support the art, support the industry. And by the way, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy, don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. And also, this review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.